हेलो दोस्तों, मैं हूं कुमार गौरव।
मैं जॉन जोएल।
तो आज हम लोग रिएक्शन देने वाले हैं इंडिया और पाकिस्तान विच कंट्री इज बेटर। ये FTD वालों का फैक्ट है। तो इसमें हम देखते हैं कौन सा कंट्री ज़्यादा बेटर थी। इससे पहले हम लोग शुरू करें,
लाइक करो, सब्सक्राइब करो, शेयर करो, कमेंट करो
और बेल आइकन जरूर दबा देना। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। Coming together is begging, keeping together process, working together.
Coming together.
Okay.
Said by Henry Ford.
Pakistan and India are two countries that aren't foreign to the large number of people who watch our videos. Both countries are rich with culture and have great pride unlike any other. Although stemming from the same origins, India and Pakistan are two separate nations with two completely separate identities now. Thank you guys once again for joining me on another episode of FTD Facts. I'm Leroy Kenton, and I'm going to be exploring these two countries in a side-by-side comparison in this episode of which country is better. Now, the question I got to throw out there is, what country do you think is better, India or Pakistan?
What do you think?
For me, actually, there are two different countries that cannot be incomparable because I know there are some similarities. I know there's Punjab in Pakistan, Punjab of India, but I know India is far to my own experience. I've never been to Pakistan, but due to research and what I watch on the social media and everything, India is far better. They are not to be compared.
Okay, so let's watch.
Yeah, let's watch and see.
And don't forget to leave a like on this video. Okay, so let me begin exploring these two great countries. Let's look at the population first. So the population of Pakistan is 198,304,221. And the population density sits at 256 per square kilometer. India's population, on the other hand, is a lot larger. It's at 1,344,238,148. And
to start with just the population, you can see what I've said. It's just coming out, right?
Yeah, but just look at, but population is not
198 million to 1.3 billion people.
Yeah, but
the ratio is what
not
you know.
That population is a good thing, but let's watch.
Yeah,
the main thing.
Population is one thing, and
main thing is the facility.
Better facility is another thing. Yeah. So let's just continue.
Of course, is the second most populated country in the entire world. Right. Its population density is at 450 per square kilometer. Now, when it comes to land size, the land size of India is 3.287 million square kilometers. And that's about 1,269,219 square miles. Pakistan's land size sits at 796,095 square kilometers, which is roughly 307,774 square miles. Now, life expectancy in both countries are pretty similar. In India, the average age is 68.5 years, with males at 67.3 years and females at 69.8 years. The life expectancy in Pakistan is 67.7 years, males at 65.8, and females at 65.8.
Now, within December.
Look at the cultures of these two countries. So secularism in India refers to the equal treatment of all religions by the state.
Here is a secular
with the 42nd Amendment of the Constitution of India enacted in 1976. It asserted that India is a secular nation. However, neither India's constitution or its laws define the relationship between religion and state, whereas Pakistan is a Muslim state. India has around an 80% Hindu population, while Islam is a predominant religion in Pakistan.
India has a 80% Hindu population. Even this is a secular country.
Pakistan alone, which is 5 times smaller than India, has 300 dialects and languages.
But the Muslims in India are almost same with the number of Pakistan's population.
But for the official languages, the Constitution of India designates the official language of the government of India as Hindi, as well as English. And there is no national language.
India has no national language.
Pakistan's national language is Urdu, which along with English is also the official language. Now, in 2015, the government...
There are some Indians that actually speak Urdu, I think. Those that are close to Pakistan.
Language and get rid of English as the second official language. When it comes to the dollars, the money of India and Pakistan, Pakistan uses the Pakistani rupee and India uses the
Indian rupee.
The GDP of India sits at 9.489 trillion
Trillion.
US dollars,
Wow.
and the GDP of Pakistan is at 1.060 trillion US dollars. And this is based on the purchasing power parity. When it comes to food now, India is a big place, of course, right? Now, it used to be even bigger, consisting of areas that are now Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Myanmar, which was
All
formerly known
combined.
as
Yeah.
Burma. So the whole idea of Indian food is not necessarily 100% accurate. Although the term Pakistani cuisine can also be pretty vague, considering that
Even
Pakistan
I cannot.
exists until
I didn't eat the all
1947.
Indian food set.
Yeah, definitely.
This is very.
Each state have, but chapati is common everywhere. I just chapati, paratha is
When you
common
look at
everywhere.
The subsets, it's pretty diverse with all the different spices and the ingredients. We don't see too much differences in terms of the food in India and Pakistan. But let's just take, for example, the kind of food that you would find cooking in a South Indian home. The dal, the resam, the sambar, etc. It's completely different from Pakistan's kebabs or the naans and curries and
non-veg.
meats that are served in an Indian
Mostly
restaurant.
Indians are
But that's enough
vegetarians.
food
So
talk
Yeah.
for me.
I don't know about
Getting
Pakistan,
hungry.
but
Probably
maybe.
gonna chow
Pakistan
down
is not
after
veggies,
this
and even
episode.
they
But,
put
let's
the
look at
meat
military
inside
of
the
two countries.
veggie.
So
The
currently,
veg, okay.
Pakistan's military is ranked 13th in the world. Pakistan's armed forces are made up by 3 different branches.
I know
We
these
have
before
the
already.
Pakistan Army, the Pakistan Air Force, and the Pakistan Navy. Now, the available manpower in Pakistan sits at 95 million people, and their total military personnel sits at 1,135,000. That includes active personnel, which is 620,000, and reserve personnel, which is 515,000 people. And the defense budget in Pakistan increased to $8.7 billion this year. Now, they're the 6th largest in the world in terms of active military personnel and the largest among Muslim countries. And this next one is huge. It's reported that Pakistan is the only Muslim majority country to possess nuclear weapons.
Yeah, I know this.
Their military also has a special service group. which
Only
is
country
known as
possess
FTD.
nuclear
It
weapon?
Only the
special
Muslim country
operations
which
force
has-
of the
Okay,
Pakistan
Muslim country.
Army. Because the SSG go through a huge range of just intense training, in 2015 they were actually listed as the best special forces group in the entire world. Now looking at the military of India, military in terms of active frontline personnel. But when we take a look at the total military power, they are ranked 4th on the global scale.
Yes.
The defense budget is way up to $53.5 billion. And actually, the Indian Ministry of Defense says India will need $233 billion to meet its military budget in 11 years. Now, there's something pretty cool I want to throw in here. In late 2016, India actually completed its nuclear triad by adding a strategic nuclear submarine, the INS Iron Hand, into its military. India has become one of the only countries to do so. And if you're unsure of what a nuclear triad is, well, pretty much it's the ability to launch nuclear warheads from land and from the sky as well as from the sea as well.
All right.
When we look at the film industry, Lollywood is the oldest film industry of Pakistan, cinema,
Lolly?
based in Lahore.
I didn't-
Lollywood?
Yeah, I didn't hear about it.
Lahore was the center of
Me too.
Pakistan cinema, producing films in both Punjabi and Urdu. However, since 2007, Karachi has overtaken Lahore in Urdu film productions. And for some of you, this may be the first time you're hearing the word Lollywood. So where did that name actually come
Yeah.
from anyways? Well, it was coined back in 1989 by a gossip columnist named Salim Nasser, and he wrote for a glamour magazine that was published in Karachi. Now, Bollywood, of course, in India is only a part of the larger Indian cinema, also known as Indiewood. In 2016,
Indiewood, yeah.
$1.4 billion, and they make up about 43% of the overall revenue coming from India's entire film industry. So India and Pakistan have shared and continue to share a very extremely turbulent historical relationship. The Indian subcontinent.
Why
used
don't
to
he
be
talk
ruled
about
by the
Bollywood?
British
He only
Empire
talk
for
about
almost
Lolly
200
Because
and
years.
Indiewood.
Some of you may know this.
Bollywood,
when
no,
World
everybody.
War II ended, the British were in no position to continue their hold on the Indian subcontinent, and the British partitioned the Indian subcontinent into two separate nations, India and Pakistan. On August 14th, Pakistan became an independent country. However, there was really no correct way as how to actually divide the land. So there was a mix of Hindus and Muslims living in the land for generations. And this partition resulted in the loss of life on both sides.
Yes.
Almost 20 million people were displaced from their homes as well. It's been 70 years, and these two countries continue to overcome various hurdles and now are recognized on the global scale in many different areas.
So, what did you like about this video?
Yeah, actually, what I like, not just like, what's comparison between the two
Which country
countries.
is better according to you after they see this?
Yeah, to make it short, India is better. But I will say that Pakistan tried because comparing their population and their GDP, they are just 180 something million and their GDP is above a trillion. So I can say that they try in the aspect of GDP because that population to have that kind of GDP at least, they try.
And I have a little bit idea that
And,
India is quite better.
Yeah. And you know, the comparison, you are comparing a country with 2.3 trillion, billion people.
Oh, yeah.
1.3?
Sorry?
The population of India is
1.3
1.3 billion people with only 180 million people.
Yeah.
So, you know, the comparison cannot be justified.
Yes.
I don't know how, but at least, you know, because of the population and because of
GDP.
the GDP and material, you know, India is better than Pakistan.
Okay.